And what about Nigel Farage? What do you make of his return and his performance so far?
He's never really left, let's be honest. I mean, he's gone from UKIP to the Brexit Party to Reform UK. I mean, the name changes, but it's essentially a vehicle for Farage and for his brand of politics. He made a major gaffe not too long ago in which he essentially suggested that NATO had provoked Vladimir Putin into invading Ukraine. There are many countries where this kind of Putin apologetics will go down well, but the United Kingdom is not one of those places, even amongst relatively right-wing people in Reform UK. So I think this has done him quite a lot of damage. There's been a lot of scandals regarding Reform UK candidates who've made some pretty racially charged remarks. It does look as though Nigel Farage is not going to do quite as well as he was projected to do not too long ago.
And what about in foreign policy? What will be the impact of a Labour supermajority on its foreign policy?
Right. Well, I mean, first of all, the term supermajority is not really a term in British politics. There is such a thing as a supermajority in American politics, which is a certain number of senators that you have in order to be able to avoid the filibuster. But the term doesn't really exist in British politics. It's being used as kind of shorthand for a really, really big majority. Now, in terms of what that's going to mean, I don't necessarily know if it's going to make Britain's foreign policy all that different, because I think what Keir Starmer is going to have to balance is two things. On the one hand, he knows that Britain has to work more closely with Europe in the coming years, both in order to kickstart the UK economy and also because of the security threat from Russia. But at the same time, he doesn't want to go too far because he doesn't want to reopen the wound of Brexit. So although most British voters now believe Brexit was a mistake, those who are pro-Brexit have a disproportionate amount of electoral power because of where they're distributed in the UK geographically. So what this means is that Keir Starmer really doesn't want to reopen the issue of Brexit, which he may risk doing if he's perceived as moving Britain too close to Europe too quickly.